Hi guys, I'm going to do a real quick video here on the Vivi Nova. This is a 3.5 milliliter rebuildable clear miser. This is the long wick version. I believe it's version 2 is what you would find about it. Version 1, version 2, there were some slight differences basically on the tank itself, but this is fully rebuildable, and we're going to give it a shot on one of my favorite vaping devices, the Lavatube. So we're going to open it up here and take a look at it, see what kind of vape we can get out of this. So this is the Vivi Nova. This is a one set pack. You can find it just about anywhere. And no, this isn't anything new, but this is a little different than a DCT. And there's pluses and minuses to both. But we're going to open this up, and like I said, we're going to give it a shot on one of my favorite weapons of choice, which is actually the Lavatube variable voltage from Volcano. So anyhow, as you open it up, you see it's basically you get a tank. And you get, there's actually a head in here right now, and you get two other atomizers. They are 1.8, 2.4, and 2.8 ohm, I believe. We did bring these out once before. They were pretty close, within a couple tenths of resistance. As you can see, it ships. The tank itself comes with the all famous safety condom on top of your tip. There you go. And this is a nice design, and some of the pluses as opposed to a regular DCT is the filling capabilities of this. And like I said, we haven't tried this on the Lavatube yet. I've been using DCTs for a long time, so we're going to try this out and see the differences. And some of the differences you'll see is actually you have threaded top, which removes the top, and then you can see your replaceable atomizer. And then at the bottom, this actually has another threaded connection. And here's your long wicks. This is the long wick version. I'm not sure you can see that, but I think you can pretty good. And it's a standard 510 thread, and this wicks your juice from side to side. Now the difference is in a tank, standing a tank upright, you're pulling through the tank. This actually has to wick into the juice has to wick into the top loaded atomizer. So that's one of the differences. There's a few other ones, but basically that's it in a nutshell. And this of course is threaded on, and it's replaceable with the spare that actually comes with it. And they kind of look like this, and you can see the threaded connection with the long wick on it. And that's the replaceable part of this. When you remove this, you can see, actually you can see the coil. I'm not sure you can, but I'm hoping you can, and how it's operating. So the juice is actually wicking into the atomizer, and that's one difference with these. It's a plus and a minus. With a DC tank, you've got to prime and prime and prime to get an actual flow, because you don't want that burnt taste, and you don't want to actually fry it. With these, you've got to fill them up because the juice is actually wicking in. You got to let them sit a little bit. So we're going to fill this up, and we'll cut, of course, let it soak in a few minutes because we want to actually use the same device right out of the box and see what kind of vape we get out of it. So we're going to fill it up, let it soak a few minutes, and we'll give it a shot. So here we go with the Vivi Nova. We're not going to get into too technical stuff. This is going to be really simple. We're actually going to make sure our wicks are actually, I'm going to fan them out just a little bit. I'm going to wind them straight into my tank reservoir. You don't want to over tighten that, of course. Don't want to cross thread it. Just make sure it's snug. Give it a little bit. After it's bottomed out, you're fine. And right here is we're going to filter the outside and allow the juice to wick in. We're just going to use some standard juice that I had mixing around. It's 75-25. This happens to be a tobacco clove. So basically, we're going to fill it up. No fuss, no muss here. Suggest you fill up to the bottom of the actual wick, or actually the silver where the wick goes in. I wouldn't overfill it to that point. That's probably about, if you want to look at it as basically a 2/3 no longer. And what's happening is it's already starting to wick in. And I can see it climbing up into the wick, even though this is a dark smoke type tank. I can see it starting to wick in, and the juice is actually wicking in like it should. So one of the things you got to be careful with these, so I'm told, and like I said, this is my first time using it, so is that when you lay these down or you have them upright too much and your juice level starts to get low, one side or the other side of the wick is going to have juice if you lay it down on its side, of course. So you have to make sure you don't want that dry taste, because if you've got, especially on a variable voltage, if you've got it set pretty high, what's going to happen is you're going to get that dry, burnt taste, and it's not going to be that really good vape. And you know, you can, like I said though, you can replace it, so they are serviceable, which is nice. So we're going to take this, and this actually has our tip on it, which is our top threaded cap to the Vivi Nova. I'm going to snug that down. This is the tip that actually came with it. Drip tip of your choice. Looks standard, 510. And a standard 510 thread. We're going to roll it around a couple times and we're going to lay it down. And we're going to cut. In approximately 5 minutes, we're going to let it sit. And then we're going to give it a shot on the variable voltage Lavatube and see what kind of vape we get. Alright guys, with the magic video, it's been approximately 5 minutes and we're going to put our newly acquired Vivi Nova onto our Lavatube. What we're going to do is we're going to turn it on, and we're going to set our voltage at 3.4. So let's see what we got. Now you can see the difference in the diameter of the tank of the Vivi Nova. Here's a standard DCT. It's a little extended tip on it. This is the Volcanoecig tank. Great device. Pretty dependable. It's also serviceable, but that's a little different animal. And here you have it side by side. You can see what it looks like. So we're at 3.4. And let's do a prime. Let's see what we get. It's pretty nice. You can hear a little pop in it. Like I said, it's only been sitting for a few minutes. Let me crank up the voltage to like 4. See what we get. We'll set it right at 4. Oh wow. Performing pretty well there. Now that was the standard head that was on it. That's a I think that one was the 1.8. So we're getting to the end of the... We don't want to be putting too much more voltage on that. But at that point, it's putting out some pretty decent vapor. Taste is good. Vapor's good. And we'll do a follow-up video. We're going to put this to the test. We're going to chain vape this thing and see what happens to it. But right now, that was the Vivi Nova on the Lavatube. If you're interested in getting a Vivi Nova, you'll find it all over the place. So there you go. Vivi Nova. Happy vaping.